Perfect. I think we're
Yeah, it looks like it's going through this time.
perfect. So,
Okay,
okay, perfect. So let's just
okay,
begin. Sorry about
all right,
the inconveniences.
no worries.
Welcome everyone to the admissions workshop for community colleges. This is an workshop part of the Student First Steps to College 2022. Today, Dr. Miguel Molina, Dean of Connection and Onboarding at Sacramento City College, will give us a presentation on the admissions process for community colleges in California and how to fill application forms. Even though this workshop will take place in English, you can send your questions in Spanish as well. After this presentation, Dr. Molina will be able to answer all the questions you may still have. You can send your questions through the chat section, which we will be checking constantly. Please remember that we are recording this workshop and it will be available in this platform for 90 days. It then will be uploaded to the YouTube channel of the Consulate General of Mexico in Sacramento. My name is Raimundo Mancera, and I will present Dr. Miguel Molina right now. Dr. Miguel Molina grew up in Santa Barbara, California. His parents were from Morelia, Michoacan, and El Paso, Texas. A Mexican American himself, he has since worked to increase Latinos' higher education attainment and enrollment into colleges and universities. In his role, he is over the offices of admissions and records, first-year experience, orientation, outreach, financial aid, international admissions, Hispanic serving institution grant, early college programs, and the UndoCu Resource Program. Prior to this, he was the Assistant Director of Admissions and the Assistant Director of the College Assistant Migrant Program at California State University, Sacramento for over 34 years. As an education manager and academic counsel, Dr. Molina has focused on bilingual recruitment. Through his professional work, he has aimed at improving education opportunities for underrepresented Latinos and students of color. He is one of California's biggest advocates of educational orientation to low-income and first-generation students, as well as minority groups and their families. During the course of his career, he has helped thousands of students enter and graduate from community colleges and universities. Due to his professional path and after being a close partner of the Consulate General in Sacramento, he received the Otley Award in 2021, Mexico's highest distinction to individuals that have opened pathways to enhance the future of younger generations of Mexicans living abroad. Without further ado, I will just yield the word to Dr. Miguel Molina.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to do a share screen so you can see my PowerPoint. Give me just a second. Okay. So to begin, there's 114 community colleges throughout California. And the one wonderful thing about this number of colleges, even though the other systems are a little bit smaller, the CSU with 23 campuses and the UC with 9 campuses, it's that we're very accessible, we're very affordable, we're nearby your home, and the best part you're going to learn about today is that much of the cost is free. I'm actually from a district in the Sacramento Valley area called Los Rios Community College District. There's 4 community colleges in our area, Sacramento City College where I work, but we also have Cosumnes River College, Folsom Lake College, and American River College. So why does somebody go to community college in the first place? Well, first of all, it's affordable and accessible. I come from a family of 14. I was the first of 12 brothers and sisters to go to school. It was a very affordable option to me, especially while I was trying to determine what I wanted to do, what was the major I wanted, and what university I might want to transfer to. So I began at a community college, even myself. So many students, when they go to community colleges, you're really like at a university. If you're deciding to transfer to a 4-year university, you're really doing the same, what's called the lower division classes at a community college. In other words, you're doing the first 2 years of a 4-year degree. And once you complete those 2 years, you transfer to a 4-year university. And then you only have to complete the last 2 years. And so it is courses that are equal for those students who want to transfer to a UC, a CSU, or a private university. Or if you're not interested in transfer, but you want to get job training for jobs, you can get a certificate in 6 months or up to 2 years, depending on the field that you want. The nice thing about community college, it's open to anyone, especially somebody who graduated from high school or you're 18 years or older. The college that I work at, Sacramento City College, is actually founded in 1916. It was one of the 7th oldest community colleges in California, and we're the Panthers. We have a main campus and we have 2 extension sites in West Sacramento and Davis. When you go to a community college, you're going to find out that there's over 190 degrees and certificates at most community colleges. Plus, you can get a guaranteed admission to a CSU if you follow an associate's degree for transfer plan, or you can get a guaranteed admissions to the University of California by following a transfer admission guarantee, or a TAG as its nickname. Where do students start? You actually start while you're in the high school. When you're in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you could actually start taking classes through our advanced education program. When you take classes while you're in high school, the courses are free. There's no cost to you. And the great thing is you get to get your confidence up about your ability to do college work. Plus you get an introduction, as well as you get ahead. You start knocking out requirements even while you're in high school that you'll need once you graduate, which means you shorten the amount of time of a 4-year degree. The only requirements is that we ask is that you at least have completed the 10th grade, or that you have a 2.7 GPA or higher. So what is the difference between high school and college? Well, in high school, you're probably in classes about 30 hours a week. In college, we're probably in college maybe 12 hours a week. We're taking 4 classes. They're usually 3 hours each. And so it's only 12 hours. So we're only in class maybe part of the morning, part of the afternoon, part of the evening. Study time, well, in high school, you're studying 1 to 2 hours a day. A little different for college. Because you're only in 4 classes, you're probably studying 2 to 4 hours a day. And so it's a little different. So do you have a lot of tests and quizzes? Well, you do in college, about 2 to 4 per semester. In high school, your teacher teaches all the material. In college, a lot of it is also you just doing your homework, and you're teaching yourself as well as the teacher. Is attendance mandatory? Definitely, but the college, a lot of professors are very flexible. So what are the basic steps to go to community college? At my college, we call it Panther Pathways, but these are the basic steps to go to any community college. Number 1, complete the application online. It's called CCC Apply. Once you apply to a community college, then you're going to go through an orientation. At my campus, we call them virtual city jams. And all we're really doing is teaching you our system. How does it work? How do you set up your online website that we give you? How do you get registered for classes? How do you meet with a counselor? And then how do you get started? That's your orientation. Once we help you through orientation, we also encourage you to get your financial aid form going. And you would actually either fill out the FAFSA or the California Dream Act. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. Then once you've got those things done, you'll make an appointment with a counselor and you'll make an education plan. This is where you tell the counselor, I'm trying to ready for a job, or I'm trying to ready to transfer to a 4-year university, and in what area. And then they'll guide you into your educational plan where you actually pick your classes and you're ready to start registering. Nowadays, because of the pandemic, you also have to provide vaccine verifications. And many times you've got to show proof of this before you enroll in classes. And so be ready for that. They're going to want copies of your shot records that you can upload to the systems that they have, and then you can register for your classes. And then last but not least, you'll register for classes probably in April or early May. So again, apply first on At my campus, it's losrios.edu, but you can go to www.cccapply.edu to fill out your financial aid form. And by the way, both of these things you do in the month of October, 9-10 months ahead of time. So starting in October, you apply to the community college. Starting in October, you apply for financial aid. So remember that you're going to fill out for financial aid either the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act. So what does that mean? Well, which one do I do? Well, the FAFSA is for somebody who's a US citizen. The California DREAM Act is for somebody who's not a US citizen and does not have permanent residency. In other words, you're probably an undocumented student or a dreamer. You would be doing the California DREAM Act. And so you apply for FAFSA on fafsa.gov, and you apply for the DREAM Act on dream.csac.ca.gov. When you apply, you start to open up other doors. You're going to start learning about what's called the Promise Grants. The Promise Grants, there's actually 2 of them in California. There's one if you're low income, the California Promise Grant. And if you're low income, tuition is always free during the entire time you're at a community college. If you're not low income, you're middle income or high income, you have to, number 1, graduate from high school. Number 2, fill out that financial aid form. You don't necessarily have to get financial aid, but you have to fill out that form. And then you have to be a full-time student. Full-time is usually 12 units or 4 courses. And so the moment you're full-time, you can actually have tuition for free for up to 4 semesters. In other words, for 2 years of study. So you could do 2 years free at a community college, then transfer to a 4-year university and do your last 2 years. But at least the first 2 years are free while you're attending a community college, regardless of your income. Besides financial aid from the government, the FAFSA and the California DREAM Act, don't forget that you can also apply for scholarships. Scholarships because you're Latino, scholarships because of your gender, you're a woman, scholarships for the area that you want to study, scholarships for your religion, you're Catholic or Christian or any religion, scholarships because of your residency. You happen to be a dreamer and undocumented, there's actually scholarships for you. So be aware that there's scholarships out there. And also within your financial aid, you're going to hear about the Cal Grant program and federal work study. And so these are extra programs that help pay costs. But the truth is, it's all built into the FAFSA and California DREAM Act. So there's no extra forms to do. As I mentioned, after you do financial aid, you'll attend your orientation. Then you'll sit with a counselor, they'll make an ed plan, and you'll get placed into the right class. In the old days, they would make you take a math and English test. Now they don't. They look at your high school transcript and try to ready you into the next level from where you left off. So it's kind of nice. You don't have to take math and English tests. Then you sit down with a counselor. He'll make an education plan with you. You'll plan your first semester classes. And then you have to provide that vaccine verification. And last but not least, you get to register for classes. So how long do I stay at a community college? Well, it depends. If you want to go for a bachelor's degree is 120 units. So most students will go to community college for 2 years. They'll complete roughly around 60 units. Then once they transfer to the university, they'll do the other 60 units. And so again, as I mentioned, a bachelor's degree is 120 units. So you'll do 2 years at a community college and then 2 years at the university that you transfer to. So should I do a certificate or associate's degree? Definitely. If you know that there's a job you want to prepare for, there's so many jobs in technology and health, even cosmetology. There's so many fields where you just need that training, and then you can go get a license and you can go to work. And so you can get that specialized training at a community college. If you try to get it outside, many times there are programs in schools that are very expensive and charge you up to $10,000 a year. Whereas a community college, if you get it done here, it's free. So there's a huge advantage. Some of you will want to get a 2-year degree and just use that to get into jobs and workforce. That both work great. You'll know as you're going through if you need the full associate's degree as well. So what are some fields where I could get a certificate or associate's degree? Could be accounting, could be in computer information system, cosmetology. You can get it in areas of nursing. You can get it in photography, just to name a few. Okay. What if I want an associate's degree? Well, those are basic areas. Those are the areas like if you're going to transfer. And so you can get them in accounting and criminal justice, but we call it administration of justice. You can get it in business. You can get it in nursing again. You can get it in psychology. Almost every basic area you can think of, engineering. And so these are the stepping stones so I can go to a 4-year university. So again, as I mentioned earlier, if you know you want to go to a California State University, can I get a guaranteed admission? Yes. When you sit down with a counselor, if you already know the school you want to go to, you tell them, I want to go to Cal State Sacramento and I want to study psychology. They'll get you into a plan for an associate's degree for transfer. You just follow that plan, and as soon as you complete it, you're automatically accepted into Cal State Sacramento. The same way with the UCs. They follow a general ed plan called intersegmental general education transfer curriculum, or we call it IGETC. And you can get what's called a transfer admission guarantee to a number of the UCs that are out there. Same thing, I would tell a counselor, I want to go to UC Davis and I want to study engineering. And so they'll give you a plan. So you do the first 2 years at the community college, and then you're guaranteed admission and you finish your last 2 years at UC Davis. We also help students get into historically Black colleges and universities, and some students want to do honors programs. We even help you with those programs. Along the way, while I'm in a community college, will I have counselors? Yes. You have a counselors, you have a career center. If you have a disability, you have a disability office. For low-income students, you have EOP&S, and that program is pretty important because if you qualify, they pay for your books. And so they not only help you with counseling, but they also help you with some of the resources that you might need. If you're Latino, pay attention that there's the Puente Project in a number of community colleges throughout California. That helps Latinos through their English classes, gives you a counselor through the whole time you're at the community college, and it helps you to transfer into the UCs and Cal States. And we also have transfer centers that will guide you through the tag and associate's degree for transfer. You have tutoring as well. Are there clubs? There's clubs for everything you can think of, but we have queer clubs. We have clubs for Pacific Islanders, for the Puente students, for the Dreamer students. We have a number of things, including student council. So if you want to get involved in student government, that club's available to you as well. There's athletics. You can get into sports. You can do your first 2 years before you transfer to a 4-year university in every sport you can think of. So what's my timeline like? If I'm a senior in high school, what should I be doing and when should I be doing it? Well, in October, as I mentioned, fill out your financial aid form as well as complete a CCC apply. Do those first. And if you can, look for a Cash for College workshop. Those are workshops that help you fill out the FAFSA or the California Dream Act applications, and they're really helpful. By the way, the deadline for financial aid to fill out the forms is March 2nd. That's part of the reason we're doing this conference in February. We want to get you ready so you have all your financial aid forms done before March 2nd. Then in January, you'll probably attend an orientation. That's when you'll get a little bit of training about how to use the resources at that college. All colleges will give you a password. They'll give you your own individualized website, and be sure to save those passwords for everything that you register for: financial aid, admissions, orientations, and even your passwords to the community college you're going to. Once you're done with that, probably in March, you'll sit down with a counselor, you'll make an ed plan, and then you'll register for classes probably around May or April. And then when summer rolls around, they do have programs to get you kind of ready for the classroom experience. Like right now, many of our classes are online. And so we want to teach you how to use those classes and use the tools that make it so you'll be successful in those classes. Well, we set up a program called Summer Bridge, and we call it part of your first year experience or guided pathways. And so be sure that if they invite you to be in Summer Bridge or guided pathways or first year experience, go ahead and do that, because they're really just guiding you and offering you support and counselors and student advisors as well to help you with any questions you have as you're going through your degree plan. So most offices are available for you Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 or 8 to 6, including on Fridays. But be aware that with the pandemic, many of them are probably asking you to connect with them through the websites or their telephones if you're not in person yet. It's really going to be contingent on the pandemic if we all are in person and able to go into classrooms fully in person. If not, everything will be virtual, but you'll connect over email or telephone, as I was mentioning. So, do you have any questions of me? This is my email. This is my phone number. It's okay if you don't live in this area. If you ever have any questions about enrolling, you can connect with me via these pathways. So thank you so much. And we apologize for the technical difficulties. It kind of slowed us down to get this underway. Thank you so much. Raimundo or Jimena, are there any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Molina. It seems that we don't have any questions. Just let's wait a little bit for Jimena to verify that.
Okay.
Okay, well, it seems that there are no questions, but we thank you very much, Dr. Molina, for your presentation. The video, as I mentioned before, it's going to be available through the platform for the next 90 days, and then it's going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Please stay connected and do not forget to join the Cash for College workshop offered by CSAC, the California Student Aid Commission, where they will explain how to access financial aid for your college education. If you join the workshop and fill out your FAFSA or DREAM application, you will also be participating in the giveaway of a 10,000 scholarship and 50 laptops. In the platform, you can also find workshops on how to transfer from community colleges to other universities, careers in healthcare education, parents' role, and even college opportunities in Mexico. You will also be able to access one-on-one consultations with our counselors and attorneys in case you have any inquiry on legal matters. Thank you again, Dr. Miguel Molina, and enjoy the rest of the event, everyone.